This is a collaboration between two really amazing women and their companies, Paula and Resources for Africa and Tracy and Thinkspiration. Now, they both happen to be gorgeous, but that is really of secondary importance. I am involved with the both of them for their other attributes mainly, which is their ability to create a platform where fantastic conversations take place. Geez, I'm going to have to apologize after this intro. I should probably just sit down, apologize and sit down whilst I still can walk out of here alive. So we are delighted to bring together a host of the senior representatives from junior mining and exploration companies, government. And government is in the house. You can all relax. You remember, I worry until Gwede walks in. I've now learned, don't invite Gwede, then I can relax. And therefore, DG is in the house. So DG, you are acknowledged for the last time. From here on, you will be treated the way we deem it necessary to treat you, whatever that means. The rest of my life, he can give me lank shit, but today is the day. So over the 2 days, we are going to showcase fantastic companies, which include companies from Botswana, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Namibia, Côte d'Ivoire, Malawi, Burkina Faso, Tanzania, and also South Africa. So this was always going to be more than just a South African conversation, despite the fact that in the morning we start with the issues affecting South Africa. The rest of the day then becomes much broader. And quite honestly, it is this platform that has made us bold enough to take our way of doing conversations to London. The London Indaba is a stunning success even before we've kicked it off. It is surprisingly subscribed. It has got all the best potential speakers, including and even Roger Baxter. It is a conversation about how the world needs Africa's mining, and Africa's mining needs the world. So we've positioned that conversation, obviously, with an emphasis on future metals and minerals, and the role that Africa will play in that. So pay attention. Quickly convert your last few rands into pounds. It is dirt cheap in pound terms. If you times it by 20, nothing is cheap. I do apologize. It's not my fault. I do not set the currency. But this conversation is exactly, as I said, why we were bold enough to take our platform to London as well. It's going to be a stunning success. I can't wait to go. So we would like to thank our sponsors who, like us, over many years have seen the potential in this sector and in this platform. And obviously, it is sponsors that make this event possible. You can tell from the fee structure, you aren't paying your way, but thank you for paying. It is truly the sponsors that make this happen. So my job is now easy. I need to introduce. No, it's not easy. If I look at the average age in this room, it's damn hard. I need to introduce people of my age and older even to a technology platform. Wish me luck. Can I quickly get my 17-year-old son on speed dial and just talk us through what to do? So if you please pick up your little thingamadingy. I don't even know what you call that thing. That funny zebra looking, that's a drunk zebra, no? Or am I drunk? It's a very blurred thing. Once you pick that up, point your camera at it. QR code. This old toppie is trying to impress me with his knowledge. It's a QR code. Point your camera at the QR code. It should create a little live link. On an iPhone, I think last time I did it, it was yellow. It may be a different color. Press on that. It takes you to the Slido platform. Slido is our platform where you will put your questions. You'll put your questions in time to come to me so that I can put it to the speakers. Slido is the platform where we will stop midway through Roger Baxter's presentation and say, let's just do a bullshit barometer test on Roger, or Jacob, or anybody. And we will say, Roger just said the following, do you agree, yes or no? And the audience will speak. So this way we stop us from making wild statements, unchecked, untested. And we have fun at the expense of our presenters. And they keep on coming back. So this abusive relationship is clearly true. My team is way ahead of me, so I'm going to have to shout at somebody. Have I asked you to put on the slide yet? No, sir, you haven't. I'm sorry, sir. Thank you. It's all good. We are friends again. So please try and stick with the program. It's early in the morning. I'm sure we're all still awake. So we're going to do a practice question. The practice question is, what do you think Roger Baxter is going to do next? We all expect he's going to join a political party. He clearly is a politician, so we just don't know which party. No. Obviously, nowadays, you take a job and you start taking notes because you are actually doing the job to write a book. So I don't know if Roger has, for the last 9 years, been keeping notes of, in the morning when my driver picked me up and my coffee was lukewarm, Roger, we want detail. Huh? We want detail. If we want to speak truth to the power, we want detail. So I'm talking you into Roger's going to write a book, Speaking Untruths to Power or something. I'll even come up. Obviously, the project manager needs a DG. So, Roger, you're perfectly suited to become the DG for the Minister of Electricity, I'm sure. You functioned without power. That's a pun. No, that was a smart pun. Without political power for years, so you should be a natural in that space. Huh? Paula asked me to please put on that perhaps he can become the chair of DC Indabas and you guys can finally be rid of me. So 97 people participated. I don't think it's democracy unless we got to 100, so I'll just give the online people a chance to sit down and participate. 99, it's so close. If only I rigged up, I could have voted. So, Roger, we got to 100, thank you. Okay, so I will then at some stage say, okay, the poll is now closed, and then we will bring the feedback back. So Roger is going to write a book. Okay, Roger, it's official. Your industry, the very people you have claimed to have been a capable leader of, has instructed you to write a book. Okay. And the ANC is ready to receive you as well. Look there, join a political party. But the ANC is not a party, is it? It's a movement. I don't know. Okay, so that was just tongue in the cheek. It was testing that you guys are awake. It was putting you all on notice that sarcasm is going to be dripping throughout the day. There's no special treatment for anybody. I don't want to see these questions. I don't want to see the sarcasm. Can I please ask my team to never show the sarcasm on the screen? I'm very fragile, and I don't own a tie. Okay, so can we then go to questions which are slightly more relevant for the conversation? So I want to put to you my first question, which is, did you participate in this year's Fraser Institute survey? So did you personally participate in the Fraser Institute survey? If I look at the numbers, we've got at least 2 people lying, 3 now. It will be a fantastic coincidence if 3 of the 6 people who participated on South Africa's behalf are in this venue. Thank you. That's very interesting, and we'll obviously deal with the minister telling the CEOs that it's their fault, and the industry telling the minister it's his fault. And I thought we should just start off by reflecting on this instrument that we've chosen to have debates on and its relevance in our lives. So thank you for that question. I want to ask one more question. And obviously this morning's session is about the junior space and especially the exploration space. So as public surveys are making front page news in South Africa, I want to do a public survey, and that is, are you optimistic about the exploration potential of South Africa? Yes or no? Jeez, I told you to put a bit of that stuff in the coffee, but that was too much, guys. You overdone the optimism, the hopium. There was far too much hopium in the coffee this morning. Okay, so we're amongst a bunch of optimistic bullshitters. So we've established who we're talking to. Now that we've established that, we can pitch our conversations accordingly. I have but once in my life been at a mining conference where the average audience was pessimistic. It doesn't happen. I think there's a bit of natural selection. I think you aren't in mining if you aren't irrationally optimistic. I think it's the nature of who we are. So we must recognize that. But then, if that is true and we are optimists, then I do think we can also call ourselves out to then get on the field, don't criticize from the pavilion, and play the game, make a difference. So I don't know what the journalists are going to do with this. I can't wait to see this now tomorrow. At least we had 107 participants as opposed to the Fraser Institute, 7 participants. So clearly this is not as credible a sentiment survey as the Fraser Institute. So I've had fun at all of your expenses. I wish I could say for the last time I have to introduce Roger Baxter, but unfortunately I will have to introduce him again at the Joburg, London, in Durban. I'm so comfortable to have a minority view. I sat at Roger's farewell a week ago, and I heard that he's a phenomenal, great guy, and I thought, Roger who? And when he stood up, I thought, no, not this Roger. But apparently, according to our industry, he's a legend in the making. He's made a critical contribution to our industry in very, very tough times. He saw our industry go through political changes from horrific to, I will not comment on what the current regime looks like. Roger, I'll leave that to you to define that. This will certainly be the last time that we will welcome him as the CEO of the Minerals Council of South Africa at this event. So, Mr. Baxter, come speak truth to power and the rest of us. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.